Welcome to part 4 of my build of the Republic RC-3 Seabee model. This video is a slideshow with a voiceover of some pictures I took while building it. I started to assemble the left wing by gluing the ribs to the two wing spars, trailing edge and leading edge. Then I glued various fasteners and reinforcements to the wing. This can now harden properly until Monday. Today I cut a 1.5mm balsa sheet for the rear part of the left wing and glued it down with some good weights. This way the wing half stays straight and even. Then I shaped the attachment for the wing float and glued it in place. Finally I cut the covering for the leading edge and glued it down. The left wing is coming along very nicely. I spent the whole morning finishing the underside of the left wing panel. I didn't take many pictures because it's almost the same as the right wing. Now I just have to sand everything smooth and glue the wingtip on. Today I made a lot of progress on finishing the left wing. I sawed out the aileron, albeit one rib bay too long, so I had to repair what I damaged. Put on it some balsa that will accept the hinges, a piece of plywood for the control horn and 3mm balsa for the leading edge. I glued the wing tip to the rib and then I glued the left wing up to the center section with the 25.4mm block under the end rib. Quite a busy day. I managed to mostly finish the wing today. I sanded the left half, shaped the wingtip and rounded the leading edge. Now just a little finishing touches are needed and the wing is ready for the plastic film. And so we begin the fuselage. I started the fuselage by gluing most of the parts of the keel together, marked with the letter K, and then I lined them up in the assembly system from Slick. I tightened all the squares down when I was sure that K1 was straight. Then I started arranging the fuselage ribs on the keel. I used the small square to get them at right angles to K1 and then placed small steel blocks to hold them in place until the glue dries. I added a few more fuselage ribs to the keel all the way back to F13. Then I put the front floor on and glued the servo mounts in. I had already cut a hole for the elevator and rudder servos, but it was too far back, so I cut a new hole in front of rib F4 as shown in the drawing. Then I screwed 3 servos into the hull. The hull is quite fragile and can easily bend in all directions, buckle and break. This should be fixed when the longerons and nacelle floor are glued in. I tried to adjust the fuselage so that it was more or less horizontal. Then I glued 2 long strips and the cockpit frame in place. Then I made the part of the cockpit that lifts off and gives access to the interior. I've also started to put the nose on.